Right-wing zealots who didn't get their way in the presidential election are now urging Donald Trump to declare martial law to do a so-called rerun of the election. One of those zealots actually happens to be former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who was just recently pardoned by Donald Trump. Flynn linked to an ad from a Tea Party affiliated group called We the People Convention. And in it, there was a 1,500 word manifesto that invokes Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary use of presidential authority to suspend habeas corpus as it compares the more widely known Civil War with Antifa and Black Lives Matter attacking major cities with their anti-American agenda. So understand what this ad, which was shared by Michael Flynn, is suggesting. That Donald Trump should declare martial law, right, which suspends the Constitution, and demand a rerun of the election. And the whole idea of like what should trigger it is the country is under threat by Antifa and anti-American groups. It's absolutely ridiculous. So here's the tweet that was shared by Flynn. And again, I mean, you can see he even tagged people like Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, who we'll talk about a little later in the show, Lou Dobbs, Dan Scavino, all of our, lunatic friends here in the United States. Now, here's what the actual manifesto says. To advance their cause, these socialists are acting to defund the police, creating chaos and suspending the rule of law that protects millions of average and particularly minority Americans. The results being massive increases in violent crime and deaths in our cities and the destruction of small businesses orchestrated by those politicians and leftist groups, many funded by domestic and international communists. We are likely under attack from within. Then this is what they call, this is when they call for martial law, where they write, when the legislators, courts, and or Congress fail to do their duty under the 12th Amendment, you must be ready, Mr. President, to immediately declare a limited form of martial law and temporarily suspend the Constitution and civilian control of these federal elections for the sole purpose of having the military oversee a national revote, the ad said. Insane, just absolutely insane. And Trump is actually considering doing this. We have video to prove it, but Cenk, your thoughts?
So Michael Flynn is Trump's former national security advisor. That is one of the very top roles in the government. And he was always a lunatic. And now he's saying, yeah, let's just do a right-wing coup. What do you think martial law is? Martial law is literally a coup, where you say the Constitution doesn't apply anymore, and the president is temporarily king, and he can do anything he wants. That's what martial law is. We can arrest anyone we want under this hypothesis that they are part of a domestic and or international communist ring. So you've heard me say it 1,000 times on the show. I guess I'm trying to compensate for the rest of media refusing to say that the emperor has no clothes. No, these people. No, they're not. Are you kidding me? They're saying he's a lunatic. Donald Trump is a deranged lunatic.
They don't call him a lunatic.
But he is. He is. They're actually considering declaring martial law. And by the way, these are the same idiot. And name one time that anyone on cable news has said that Republican voters are nuts. They've totally lost their minds.
What is that going to accomplish?
What's that?
But like, what is that going to accomplish? Having a bunch of like mainstream media people calling Trump supporters nuts, that's going to accomplish nothing, Cenk. People know. People who are reasonable people already, okay.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. So
okay, so let's go ahead.
It's all about branding. Right now, everyone in media is still pretending that Republican voters and Republican politicians are sane, and that now everything becomes 50-50. So now they've gone to the complete end of the spectrum. So they're like, now are we going to debate whether we should tear up our Constitution? So later, Anna, they will pretend, you mark my words, is an absolute guarantee that the entire Republican Party was not with Donald Trump when they were trying to do insane things like martial law and get rid of the Constitution. And they'll say, oh, it was minor players, it was funny. the former national security advisor. It is not funny. They 100% mean it. No one on cable news says, yes, they mean it. Yes, most Republican voters in this country believe this crap. And yes, they don't believe in America. They don't believe in the United States. All those guys who pretended they were for the Constitution, the minute they're about to lose their power, they're like, tear it up, suspend the Constitution, we hate it, okay? So now, have the Democrats and the corporate media explain to people that the majority of Republican voters don't believe in the Constitution? That they believe in an un-American coup to steal an election? No, beloved Republican voters. Oh, Republican voters, we cannot offend you. We'll do political correctness, even though all the polls indicate you guys are all nuts and only 3% of you believe Joe Biden won the election. That political correctness is destroying this country.
I want you to be specific though. Who in the media? Who in the media is justifying or in any way apologizing for the nonsense coming from Donald Trump in legitimate media? I'm not talking about Gateway Pundit or all these other lunatic outlets.
No. Those are two different things. I'm not saying that the media is coming out and saying Trump is right or let's debate whether this election was won by Biden or Trump. I'm saying that they are not calling out the Republican politicians and the Republican voters.
Though.
Republican voters, show me. We do a whole show. We got a staff. Find me one pundit on television anywhere saying that Republican voters are nuts. That
they're not going to call
overwhelming
Republican
majority
voters
of them
nuts.
believe things that aren't remotely true.
Okay. So I will show you that content later off air because it exists. They're not going to call voters lunatics. I don't think that accomplishes anything, but they certainly do call out Republican lawmakers who are refusing to speak up and acknowledge the reality of the outcome of the election. They put pressure on those politicians on a regular basis, and I know that because I have to consume all this media all day long in order to prepare for this show. But anyway,
all right, last thing, Anna. You asked the question, I'll answer it. What does it accomplish? It accomplishes the truth. And what's gonna happen in the next 4 years is that 73% of Republicans who absolutely positively, there's another chunk who are not sure, but 73% absolutely believe that the Democrats stole this election and they committed fraud with Hugo Chavez and the communists, etc. Those lunatics will create massive trouble, massive. They think, oh no, we're gonna go back to normal. We're not gonna go back to normal because Trump has poisoned the minds of nearly half this country. And that is a cancer that is going to eat up this country. So us just like laughing or getting past it it's not gonna work. So we can cater to the delicate sensibilities and feelings of Republican voters, but the cancer is gonna grow as long as we continue to humor them and not tell the truth.
So what is the likelihood of Donald Trump actually taking the bait and declaring martial law? Well, he hasn't said anything about this publicly yet, but we do have multiple examples, and we'll show you one of them right now, where Donald Trump has said that he would like to use the military in order to carry out whatever political agenda he has. Here he is on September 12th talking to Jeanine Pirro about how he would like to use the military.
They say that they're going to threaten riots if they lose on election night. What are you going to do?
We'll put them down very quickly if they do that. We have the right to do that. We have the power to do that if we want. Look, it's called insurrection. We just send in and we do it very easy. I mean, it's very easy. I'd rather not do that because there's no reason for it. But if we had to, we'd do that and put it down within minutes.
And what could be a better reason than avoiding facing criminal prosecution, which he and his family members certainly are facing after he leaves the White House. That's why one of the biggest stories yesterday was the fact that he was considering doing a preemptive pardon on his family. A preemptive pardon before they've even been charged with a crime, which there is precedent of when Gerald Ford did that for Richard Nixon before he was criminally charged in the Watergate scandal.
Look, yesterday I put out a tweet saying, scandal, Biden's thinking of doing a pardon for Hunter Biden as soon as he gets into office, just to troll MAGA. And of course they're like, that's outrageous. Okay, Trump's actually considering a pardon for his kids. They're like, that's awesome. You know why? Lunatic. ticks. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times because the polling indicates that it is absolutely true. Look, I got a family friend uncle who now has COVID. He's in his 80s because he believed Donald Trump that COVID was no big deal. So I hope he survives, but I've got an actual uncle who's Muslim, now believes in the Muslim ban because Trump said it. They've lost their minds. We have to have the courage to say it as it is. No one on cable news will say it because, oh my God, the ratings, and we can't call Republicans bad names because we have to protect their feelings. Facts don't care about their feelings. They're still facts. And yes, those voters are nuts. And we have to give them an antidote to the poison that Donald Trump gave them through his conspiracy theories and lunatic ravings. And if you don't actually do that, they will continue to fester. And not at some point, throughout the rest of what's going to happen in America, these things are going to set off consequences that are going to be disastrous.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.